everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Word. My name's Gunnar, and it's so good to be with you. First, I have a question for you. Do you remember the first time that you went roller skating? And you might have been like me, and you probably tried inlines just because you wanted to look really cool. But the moment you got on the floor, you realized you didn't know how to skate, and you were flopping all over the place because trying to move around on wheels is crazy. And you might have looked to your friends as a sort of anchor, like grabbing their arm or something just to look for support, or maybe they did that to you. But you quickly realize that as we grab onto one another in the skating rink, so often we get pulled down, we get weighed down and hit the floor. In life, if we think about life like a roller skating rink, that can also happen so very often. Whether that be the world pulling us down or our friends, we can often find ourselves on the floor, feeling really anxious or worried, or like our emotions and the way that we are has been changed by being pulled down by the people around us. We don't feel the same and life feels very uneasy. Well, this is a feeling that's been around for a really long time, and it's something that Paul wrote about in his letter to the church in Ephesus. In the book of Ephesians, in chapter 6, starting in verses 10 through 13, Paul says, "Finally, be strengthened by the Lord in his powerful strength. Put on God's armor so that you can make a stand against the tricks of the devil. We aren't fighting against human enemies, but against rulers, authorities, forces of cosmic darkness, and spiritual powers of evil in the heavens. Therefore, pick up the full armor of God so that you can stand your ground on the evil day, and after you have done everything possible to still stand." It's important to remember that as we find ourselves in this sort of weird situation in life where it feels like the world's pulling us down and where it feels like our friends are pulling us down, Paul emphasizes there's a way to put this armor on as a sort of defense or a way to see the world differently. It helps us see the world differently, see our friends differently, and react differently. Instead of feeling like we're on a skating rink, we might feel like we're on solid ground, that we can stand firm. And it's important to know that we can't do that alone. We need people around us as we figure out what it means to put this sort of armor on who can help us, and us to do the same for them. That we can all come together and stand firm on solid ground as a supporting and loving community of Christ followers. So this week, I'd like you to think about two things. One, how have you needed people to support you and lift you up? And who are those people? Maybe that's your friends, some teachers, some people at home. Maybe that's some of us in the youth group as well. Who do you have in your life that can support you and lift you up when you need help? And also, on the other side of things, how have you lifted others up or been a support to them? How have you come through, in what situations? How have you been a support to your friends? Or how could you better do that? When we come together as this body of Christ and put this sort of armor on, the armor of God, we can stand strong together in God's grace.